where we celebrate the vibrant sounds of trop rock, reggae, and more. Each episode features engaging interviews with talented musicians, sharing their stories and inspirations that embody coastal culture. But it's not just about the music, we explore the rich traditions, culinary delights, and beach adventures that make the Gulf Coast a true paradise. Whether you're lounging on the shore or stuck in traffic, let us transport you to the sun-soaked sands and lively vibes of the Gulf. Tune in for insightful conversations and a soundtrack that keeps your spirits high.
Hey everybody, how are you doing today? Welcome to a brand new installment of Tropical Standard Time on Gulf Coast Music Radio. I am your host, T-Rex. We have a very special guest coming up, and then he doesn't need an introduction, but I gotta give him an introduction anyway. One of America's favorite comedians is coming to Owa Theater in Foley, Alabama on August the 9th. My first final farewell tour, bringing a night of clean, hilarious comedy that has entertained millions. From his beloved Happy Wife, Happy Life stories to fresh takes on marriage, family, and everyday life, his quick wit and relatable humor make this comedy show everyone can enjoy. Seen on America's Got Talent, Comedy Central, and Dry Bar Comedy, he has become one of the country's most recognized comedians. But his live performances are where the laughs really come to life. And I'm definitely looking forward to checking him out on August the 9th. We're going to welcome the one and only Jeff Allen to Tropical Standard Time. How you doing today, sir?
Wow, doing better after that intro, my gosh. Yeah, hard to be in a bad mood with that kind of music, man. You know?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Love it here on the Gulf Coast, and we're definitely looking forward to having you here shortly. So, what has the tour been like for you so far?
Exhausting, but in a good way, you know. Lots of people coming out and a lot of dates, and I think we still have 45 or 50 more on the books. And it's funny because it's called my first final farewell tour. It's amazing how many people have messaged me and said, "You're quitting?" I go, "Read the poster. This is my first one. I'm going to have 4 or 5 more, I hope." So, final farewell tours.
Yes, indeed.
It's my first time into Foley, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. I know you said you went and played golf today. We have many nice golf courses here that you can take on while you're here.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can. I got to figure out the schedule, but yeah, I think I can get around in.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the interview. One of the first questions I want to open up with is, what did you learn early in your career that changed the way you write and perform today?
Early? Oh, wow. I think early I was just impersonating comics that I liked. I wanted to be Richard Pryor, and the fact that I was a white suburban kid, nobody figured out I was doing Richard Pryor. So, yeah, it was. And then I wanted to be George Carlin, and I wanted to be Steve Martin, and then eventually, after about 10 or 12 years, I think I kind of settled into. I got married, had kids, and just kind of settled into that. Just talking about my life. Jeff Foxworthy said something to me once. It was early in his career that he went to the club one night and he talked about something that happened at his house, and everybody laughed. And he was driving home and he thinks, "Gee, I wonder if it happened at my house, if it happened in other people's houses." And that's kind of what I kind of figured out. We're not all that unique, and we all kind of are frustrated by the same things. And so, and it was very funny. I was golfing with a guy for about 7 years, and we were about to get the wives together. And my wife, Tammy, asked me, "What's the country's wife's name?" And I said, "I don't know." She says, "You've been golfing with him for 7 years. You don't know his wife's name?" I said, "It never came up." And she said, "Does he know my name?" I go, "The whole world knows your name, baby."
Yes.
Yeah, I can't stop talking about you, sweetheart. So.
That's very sweet. Very sweet. When did you realize clean comedy could be both personal and really funny?
Well, it's interesting. I didn't really get into it for my fourth grade son cussed at his teacher in fourth grade, and we got called into the school, and that's when they actually discipline children.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
So yeah, so we get down there, and the teacher, she says, "What do you want me to do?" And I said, "What's school policy?" And she said, "Suspension." And my wife goes, "Great, I could use some help at home around the yard." And my son goes, "But I didn't mean it." And I said, "So you have no control what comes out of your mouth, right? If that was a 6'4", 255-pound linebacker, you would have said the same thing." And he said, "Probably not." And I go, "Okay, so when self-preservation is involved, then you can control your tongue." I said, "You'll be fine. You'll have 3 days at home." And when I said to the teacher, "I really would love to look you in the eye and tell you I have no idea where that child heard that kind of language, but that would be a lie." So driving home, Tammy said to me, "That's a reflection on us as parents." So I decided to clean up my language at home, and then I thought, yeah, I wonder if I could do it on stage. Not knowing, probably 2 or 3 years later is when I came to my faith, and I would it just fit perfectly when I decided to start working at comedy in churches. I had already been working clean for 2 or 3 years in nightclubs, and I realized that as a person who tells stories, when you work clean, you got to actually get a thesaurus out. You got to use the language to paint those pictures, with metaphors and whatever. And it made me better at what I do. It really did. So even if I wasn't a Christian, I would probably work clean, because it makes you better at what you do if you use words to make your living. And besides, I think it was Eugene Debs once said,
Hmm.
profanity gives people permission not to hear what you have to say. And that's true, because time anybody's ever cussed at me in the middle of a disagreement or whatever, I just tuned them out and walked away.
Yes, yes. I'm definitely a man of faith too. I have followed your story and everything that you
Oh,
have
okay.
overcome, and so definitely commend you on that. What role has faith played in your life and the way you approach comedy now, since you are a man of faith, a man of God?
Oh, everything. I mean, obviously it's just a different way of looking at the world. The lens in which you view things. And as far as comedy goes, I think it just softened my heart. I was pretty angry when I started, and cynical, and now I'm just, I'm really kind of I'm in a good place. So I hope that I hope that comes out of me. I hope that when I pick on my wife or my children or things around me, that people realize there's no animus there. I mean, I truly love her, but uh, she drives me crazy.
I understand that. I
Yeah,
understand that. Where you coming from?
in a good way.
In a good way, absolutely, absolutely. What's a joke or a story that worked because it came from real life?
Oh, everything. Everything begins with a truth. I just started telling a story about a year ago. She went on vacation for a week to see some friends. And before she left, she says, "I need your help with something." And I said, "Okay, what do you need?" She goes, "I just bought these 7 hanging plants from Lowe's, and I need you to water them." And then I just look at the audience and I go, in my defense, those plants would have lived. you know? Had we talked every day, and she never once said, "How are my plants?" Because I would have went, "Oh," and then I would have went out and watered them. And day 7, she says, "How are my plants?" And I go, "Oh, well, I'm not lying to her. The last time I'd seen them 7 days ago, they were fine." So I said, "They're fine." I went out and looked at them, and it looked like someone took a blowtorch to them. They were dead. So I go to Lowe's, and I put them in my truck. I drive to Lowe's, and I get some guy out of the garden center, take him to my truck, and I point at the plants, and I said, "What were those?" And I need to know quick, because my marriage depends on it.
Oh
So
yes.
anyway, she gets home and she looks at the new plants, and again, they're not even close to what she had owned. I don't know. And she says, "When did my plants die?" And I said, "The minute you put me in charge of them, that's when they died." So that's the newest one. But yeah, that just kind of hit me one day. I was just jotting some notes down about something, and I go, "Gee, I wonder if that'll." And it's funny in the audience when it's live, and I say, she says, "I want you to water my plants." Half of
Yes.
the women in the crowd go, "Oh God," you know, because they know. I mean, why would you do that? Why would you, you know? And to not bring it up for a week, you know. And then she says, "It's a good thing I didn't leave the grandchildren with you." You know, yeah, great. Like she'd come home and there'd be 4 Hispanic kids in my living room. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Hola, mi abuela. Nah, English, I told you. English.
Yes. I think it's something about a woman's touch when it comes to plants, because my wife went out of town too for about a week, and I did the exact same thing that she
Yeah.
normally does with the plants. And I guess it didn't like me too well.
Yeah, well, you know, you do have to water them and pay attention to them and talk to them. She talks to them. And
Okay, that's
she's
the
got
key.
like dozens of plants outside, inside, all over the house. And God bless
Yes.
her, she takes care of them.
Oh, yes. Which part of your story does the audience connect with most? Is it family, faith, or failure?
I think all of it. I think,
Okay.
yeah, I think that if I get any compliment, it's from couples coming by and going, "You must be looking through our living room window." And again, I don't think God made us all that unique. When I got into the 12-step program for alcoholism, um, they told me that I suffer from terminal uniqueness. I will sit down there and think I'm the only one in the whole world that has suffered the way I have. And it takes
Okay.
about less than a week to realize that, my gosh, there's thousands of people like me out there. And I think it's that way. And then with the faith, people come out now because they know that the material will be, you know, comfortable for their worldview. You know, they won't get slammed with a bunch of profanity and stuff that makes them uncomfortable. And then the uh, what was the third one? Was faith,
Failure?
failure. Yeah,
Yes,
and then the
yes.
testimony resonates because of the you know. And then again, I always fall short as a husband. So uh, trying, you know. Again,
Absolutely.
the whole sanctification process unfortunately takes a lifetime.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But so great, so blessed to have a Lord and Savior in Jesus
Oh yeah.
that covered and took care of all of that on Calvary. So I know what you mean about that,
Yeah.
falling short. We all fall short, but man, it just so happy to be able to walk from victory.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a piece to that, and that's what allows me to work the way I work. I mean, that's the gift, really. You know, is
Yes.
yeah. I just did an interview on I have a podcast, and interviewed a young guy that slammed his motorcycle into a car, and probably should have died 3 different times. And he said that I never once wavered in my faith. And I thought, not once, you know, and through all that pain and suffering. And he said, no, he said, you know, I just kept reading Job. You know,
Okay.
so God gave us Job for a reason. But he
Yes.
said, amidst that storm, you know, there's a peace in knowing that there will be a purpose behind this pain and suffering. And now he goes, now he's an EMT and he's working on becoming a fireman to help others. And
Absolutely.
he goes around to different various churches telling his story and helping lead people to the Lord. And it's an amazing story, it really was. And I didn't question him for a minute about it. I mean, the peace that came off of him, it resonated. And that's the gift, really, is just the peace. We all go through storms, trials, and tribulations. It's just how you're going to handle them, you know. And
Absolutely.
you know, and I'd like to think that you know, through what Tammy and I have been through in the last 30 years as believers, we've been able to weather those storms because of that relationship. So
Yes, you definitely have a great testimony as well, and Thank you so much. Like I said, I am a fan of yours, and
Thank you.
follow your story, and I can resonate with that too. I'm going through some similar storms like that too. So
Yeah.
you definitely someone to look to, the mentor, and be a role model for that. So
Well, thank you.
thank you so much for your platform and everything that you are doing. Now, I know that you have a very wide reach by going through the Dry Bar Comedy. How did the Dry Bar Comedy and the online platforms change your audience and reach?
Oh my gosh, Dry Bar changed my life.
Okay.
I had a nice career for close to 40 years. I worked every week, but nobody really knew who I was. I was, in demand corporately and in churches. I was doing a lot of outreach at churches and stuff for years. And then Dry Bar introduced me to about 10 million people that never knew I existed. And it was like literally overnight, 40 years overnight. But yeah, it got released in March of 2019. And to put it in perspective, I remember calling my financial planner up and telling him I may need to pull money out at the end of May to get through the summer. I didn't have one date that summer booked in February. Normally my calendar, summers are slow anyway, which I don't mind because I can spend time with the grandkids and but I like to have at least a couple of dates a month, to cover expenses and things. And anyway, they released it in March. By the end of April, my manager called me and said, "We're done booking you for the entire year." It just exploded. Tammy was looking at
Yes.
all the numbers. It said 8 million, 12 million, 20 million, 50 million. It's like, who's
Whew.
watching this stuff? But it's the internet it's a blessing and a curse. When the time
Yes.
comes to cancel you, it's overnight too.
I know, right?
Yeah, someone told me when I started working churches, they said, good news in the church travels, but very slowly. Bad news, it's a click of the mouse and your career is over overnight.
Yes.
so,
Yes.
yeah, but yeah, Dry Bar is, I owe them an extreme debt of gratitude. They've given us a wonderful life and a good platform.
Yes. It's crazy how the world is. Like it took 40 years to be an overnight success, but it only take 1 second to just
That's
wipe
it.
you out.
Wipe out the whole career.
I know. So what does success mean to you now compared to your earlier part of your career?
You know what? My success to me was always being able to just do what I love to do and put a roof over my family's head and feed them and clothe them and we struggled like a lot of like couples. We struggled. There were lean times, there were good times, and I wouldn't trade them for anything. And what success has offered me now is we can travel. Matter of fact, we're going to Orange Beach. How far are you guys from Orange Beach?
We are in the same area. We like the Tri-City area, so we have
Okay.
have
Well,
like
we're headed there on vacation in August.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, we were able to book a really nice room and spend a week on the beach and stuff. So that's what did somebody tell me once? Money only affords you, the only worry you won't have with money is you won't worry about money. All the other worries in life, are there, so we're able to, because of the success now, we can, help our kids out more. We'll be able to leave them something, maybe, if they
Right.
don't start treating us better, we're not leaving them anything.
some lint.
Yeah, exactly. Leave them some juicy fruit, gum, and
Right.
yeah, it should have been nicer to me. That's
I
what
know
I
that's
say.
right.
But yeah, and the nice thing is just, I don't know. Tammy even said it. She goes, it's we're at a point now where when it comes to an end, we can walk away and be fine. I'm not 45 years old where I'd have 25 or 30 more years to try to, eke out a living. So the timing on it was good. Um,
Yes. Yes, indeed. You have put in a lot of years in comedy, so what advice would you give to the younger comics trying to be honest without being so offensive?
Oh, Shakespeare said it, to thine own self be true, don't try to be something you're not. Like, again, I was trying to be Richard Pryor, and not even close. And I tried doing politics in the 90s. It's just the shoe didn't fit. It never really worked. And when I just really kind of settled into talking about what I talk about today, it was natural. It came relatively easily. And by then I had some chops anyway. So, but to the young guys, just don't try to be something you're not. And so if you see somebody on the internet and you're trying to copy them, at least make it fit. I used to watch guys doing drug material, and I know they never did a drug in their life. And it just
Right.
there was no authenticity. There was nothing real about it at all. And audiences will sense if you're being phony and fake. So yeah, just to thine own self be true. And I say if you're a storyteller, work clean. Just because it'll force you to work a muscle that you may not be using, and that's like a vocabulary. And and I always tell young guys, read as much as you can, whether it's People magazine or Socrates, uh, whatever you're going to draw from as references and pictures you want to paint with metaphors, you have to have at least something to draw on. And literature will give it to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know you were saying you're going to be coming down here for vacation to Orange Beach. So my last and final question for you for Tropical Standard Time is: what is left on your bucket list, professionally and personally?
Well, professionally, I can tell you, I've gotten it. 30 years ago, when we moved to Nashville, our marriage, if you follow the testimony, we were 10 minutes from divorce court.
Yes.
And it was bad. And then Christ got our hearts, got our homes, and changed our lives and our marriage. And we moved to Nashville for a new beginning. And I got to do a 5-minute set at Ryman Auditorium. And I walked off stage, and Tammy was crying. She gives me a hug, and through her tears, she says, "I've never thought I'd see you on such a beautiful stage." I had tried to get out of comedy. It really was a new beginning, and I had a blast. And I'm driving home that night, and I said to Tammy, "One day I'm going to come back and headline the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville." 30 years ago, well, 6 months ago, my manager called me and said, "Are you sitting down? They just booked you to headline the Ryman Auditorium as part of the Nashville Comedy Festival, April 18th, 2027. So I'm not there yet. I hope God gives me enough days, and I don't do anything to get me canceled between now and then. But that's my bucket list. That was that, and then obviously the next big one would have been Radio City Music Hall. I don't think I'll ever get there, but uh, that is like yeah. And I got a funny story. My best friend, who's 74 years old, I'm 70.
Yes.
I called him up. We've known each other longer than I've known Tammy. I've known him 43 years, 44 years. Anyway, we were golfing, and I told him, I said, I would love it if you would, I'd be honored if you would open for me at the Ryman next April. And he agreed. He said that would be great. And then 2 days later, he sends me a really heartfelt text and says, I just want to let you know, I know this, but the audience doesn't. I've lost a step. Being 74 years old, I'm just not the same guy. The Ryman will be my last show. And I got all choked up and thought, man, we all have a ending point. I saw him about a month later, and he goes, "I just got to tell you." And he says, "I just want you to know, I just booked 3 more shows on cruise ships after the Ryman." I go, "You ruined the story." You rat pup. I can't believe you did that to me. I said, I'm telling people the story. They're weeping. They're like, oh my gosh, what a moment. And now you're going to do that. So professionally, that's it. The Ryman is my thing. And then what was the second one?
Uh,
Bucket list professionally.
Yeah, bucket list professionally and personally, yes.
And personally.
Yes.
Oh wow. Personally, I would. I just want to. I want to finish strong. You know, I really do. I want to. It's funny. I look at myself running into Jesus's arms like one of those Special Olympic kids that keeps falling.
Okay.
Falling, running to the finish line, keeps stumbling, and people are going, "Come on, man, come on!"
Yes.
And they're full of joy and they're happy. They're just stumbling, and that's kind of the way I see myself running into His arms. I'm trying, Lord. I really am. Yeah, I just want to finish strong. I want to finish strong as a husband, a father, a grandfather, and that means a lot. Means a lot.
Absolutely.
What do they say? Integrity is when you can integrate how you live with what you believe. So I want to integrate how I live with what I believe, and that, like I said, the sanctification process has taken a lifetime, but we're chipping away at it piece by piece.
Yes, I'm here with you on the journey. So
Yeah.
I just want to say God bless you on your journey and everything you have going on. Make sure y'all catch Jeff Allen out. He is coming to Foley, Alabama, August the 9th for my first final farewell tour.
Yes, we are.
6 p.m. Central Time, and then you might catch him on the beach.
Absolutely.
At Orange Beach as well.
6 p.m. is an early show. We'll get you home
Yes.
before the babysitter hits your liquor cabinet.
Special shout outs you'd like to give out?
To Andy Andrews over in Orange Beach. We're coming. You can run, but you can't hide. But Tammy and I are going to be there. So, but I enjoyed it. And we'll see you in Foley, August 9th, I think it is.
Don't miss your chance to catch Jeff Allen live at Oval Theater. The doors open at 6 p.m. on August the 9th. We're definitely looking forward to seeing him for my first final farewell tour. He's touring all over the nation. I am T-Rex of Tropical Standard Time on Gulf Coast Music Radio. We are signing out. Until then, I want to say thank you all so much for tuning in. Until the next time, peace.
Welcome to Tropical Standard Time. Welcome to Tropical Standard Time. Yeah, yeah. Dive into the rhythm of the Gulf Coast with our podcast, where we celebrate the vibrant sounds of trop rock, reggae, and more. Each episode features engaging interviews with talented musicians, sharing their stories and inspirations that embody coastal culture. But it's not just about the music. We explore the rich traditions, culinary delights, and beach adventures that make the Gulf Coast a true paradise. Whether you're lounging on the shore or stuck in traffic, let us transport you to the sun-soaked sands and lively vibes of the Gulf. Tune in for insightful conversations and a soundtrack that keeps your spirits high.